paranoia, you just can't get away from it. It's such a key piece in the Omen pocket.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And now having double Omen out here, not only do you have the extended smokes, right, over, say, Astra smokes, but you also have, like you said, that paranoia and the ability to go for the teleport ult as well. Could be great to find some information. I am curious, too, to see how each Jet want to go for the aggression, too. We've seen some craziness with the knives. Of course, the Sovus as well with the Odins. It's like bread and butter at this point. But Hope, again, off the remnants of Icebox, playing very aggressively to start things off, playing the entry inside of mid. This is the problem with the defense already with flickbaiters, is that there is no utility being put out inside of mid. All of Cypher's util is set onto B side. So the explosion comes onto B. Not really much of a response coming up from this early Cypher, except for early shots through the smoke. But Rajante has that back off.
Yeah, and that's great. Even the tripwire almost landed him that frag. Hope down to 25 HP. So now they're pushing on through. So this is the big flank that's coming in from flickbaiters. Look at how fast they're coming in, hot and heavy. They're coming in from 3 different spots now. So this makes it even harder for Rock Bottom. They don't have a lot of control. They're all just grouped up in the site. They're going to have the perfect crossfire to lock this down. And all of a sudden now flickbaiters is going to be making their transition into this. Spamming away. Locations revealed one more time. But it's going to be the Nanoswarm nade to blow things up here, slow things down a little bit. Paranoia going to be used. Ethos goes for the wide swing, not able to make it work. But we're down to the 1v2, but it's Redux to do one better with a nice spam through the wall. And that's going to be flickbaiters keeping things going with a pistol.
I mean, that could have been a really hairy round very quickly for flickbaiters' side. Really good to see that Cypher tripwire down to the ankles, like the feet soles of Rock Bottom came in clutch there. But the call, too, from Rock Bottom, realizing that it wasn't a killjoy on flickbaiters' side, realizing the possibility of an alarm bot in mid was just non-existent. Pushing into mid site, 9 times out of 10 would have worked well for the attacker's favor, but it was a really good response, especially from Nerf. Like you mentioned, Laz, that huge flank came on by in pistol, saved the day.
It really just did wonders for them. And I mean, they had pretty much a lot of control of that situation. That's where Rock Bottom, it gets so tough. Like, yeah, you're in the back of Boathouse, but I mean, it's tough because everyone knows you're there, so they could just burn utility on you. They just know what to do. Nerf, look at this! He's able to get a nice little mow down right through the smoke. He's just an absolute menace, and now his teammate's able to help him out. This is just annihilation, Redux and Nerf, not allowing anyone to pass, and Rock Bottom are just not going to make it through.
I mean, if I'm Rock Bottom, I'm not even playing this game. I just got the wind knocked out of me from that. That was really nice to see. And I guess now is a good time to mention, too, that Nerf isn't playing the Sage anymore. He's the controller pick now. His versatility is really showing off here. And playing around their own smokes with that Spectre was a fantastic display and a really good read in the Rock Bottom. But if I'm Rock Bottom now, that fast aggression that we saw at the end of Icebox didn't work out for them then either, and it's not going to work out for them now, it seems. But the response instead could be the aggression from Ethos. The blind comes by, double kill comes through, a little bit of a backfire coming by. Now it's a 3v3. Make that maybe a 2v2, depending on how things go. Matt, gonna use an escape option here. Hope is already in the back of sight, and Rajante is nowhere to be seen from the eyes of the attackers, but they're hiding inside Hell. Waiting for that tripwire to go by. Tripwires go down. The perfect time to strafe. Yep, good for another one. Able to maneuver themselves, reorient, and Hope seemingly none the wiser. Waiting for that one more to come by. Maybe post-plant. Nope, never mind. Hope is going to find Rajante in the corner of their eye instead, leaving it down to one defender left. This has been a very odd round, Laz.
Yeah, it really has, because flickbaiters put a lot of pressure in mid. They were actually just trying to be a little bit cheeky, trying to get a nice opening, trying to deny any play from Rock Bottom. But I mean, Rock Bottom been able to handle this threat very well. And this is a 1-on-3 situation. Redux has to now find players to take down. That's a good start already. But he's getting a lot of critical hits through the wall as well. So he's only down to 20. Both players just locking it from a long. Hope playing very aggressive. But Redux gets a shot. How does that happen? But Hope just gets it barely. And they get this round on the 1v1 clutch.
I mean, that didn't even look like it showed up on my screen. That was a really good play from Redux. Unfortunately, that was just a little too late there. And Rock Bottom, they found their first round. I think a lot of that had to do with Rock Bottom playing off the really big, overwhelming aggression. And we talk about aggression a lot between these two teams. The flickbaiters, they pushed through mid immediately, and they got wiped out. At least 2 of their bodies were wiped out.
Yeah, and this is just great work now. A little bit of life coming back from rock bottom, but we have another full gun round. Indoc's going to have the recon bolt. They should be able to scan everybody, but this is a full send here. Rock bottom, they're just going to commit. Rajante though comes up big. He's going for another. That's two. How does he do this? How does he get away with it? Nobody's able to trade him unless he gets two. And Indox gets finally taken down. Rock bottom and able to get the site control just for the time being, King.
It just keeps going. More and more. The knives go down. It's not enough to connect. One left alive, missing the shots. Hope gets a double off of it. And there's one more to deal with in Speedway. 2 bullets, though. Knives are out for Hope. TP comes by. It was not bait, though. Trying to find the source. It's Nerf to come out instead. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. What a crazy round. I mean, you see Rajante, he runs on through, just bravehearting, gets two, then it's just back and forth, and then all of a sudden Hope puts everything on the team on the back and almost wins it, but it was just the knives that just missed Nerf, and Nerf was just able to get another chance and takes him down and just doing Nerf things. Now we have flickbaiters in the advantage situation. They're up 3-1. They're going against just the Chico purchase here from Rock Bottom. But I like that strat from Rock Bottom, really just trying to mix it around. But, man, that's a tough way to lose it.
And Rock Bottom are trying to deny as much space early on against flickbaiters. But flickbaiters, they're playing into that. They have cyber cages. They have smokes to work with here. And Redux is just standing out in the open.
Oops.
Yeah, okay, sure, why not? Only Redux could get that. Flash goes down as well. Not going to quite work out for Ethos, though, but Redux is still alive. They have plot armor. Smoke goes on. Another one! Hello? Laz, what the hell was that?
That was full run and gun, too.
No way.
What game are we even playing? It didn't even look like it was on his head at all. The crosshair was just insane. This is just unreal from flickbaiters, and this is what I talked about earlier. This is where the confidence starts to really kick in, and we're kind of seeing it now from flickbaiters. They win that map after pretty much an overtime, and now they're starting to feel really good. Yeah, it's a light purchase round from Rock Bottom, but again, just the way that they're winning these rounds, this is terrifying for Rock Bottom.
I hate to say it, I don't know if that would have changed the outcome of the round if they didn't have an eco.
I don't think, yeah, I honestly agree. Like, you saw how confident they were, and you were saying, like, Redux is playing such a weird wide angle. Yes, you have the dash to get out of it, but that's a pretty committed peak. Like, I mean, it'd be easy for two players just to swing, and potentially you can't dash fast enough, but my God, Redux.
Redux has been insane. And we talked about this too on Icebox, right? There's not a single player I can think of or that I've seen that hasn't impressed me between either of these two teams. But Nerfed and Redux are really standing out for me right now on Ascent. And we're what, 3-5 rounds in?
Yeah, honestly, the players, Nerfed and Redux for me are the two that are sticking out. Nerfed just coming, out of nowhere the first map, and Redux now really coming alive. Redux was doing some great things in the first map, do not get me wrong. But right now, we're definitely noticing. It's just, he's like, Nerfed, you did your job. You did a great job, buddy. Let me do some work here. Let me just get some nice highlight reels too.
It's been great to see so far, and I'm glad now we are going into a timeout. This is a really good time for Rock Bottom to collect themselves this early on. Keep in mind, we only saw, one tack pause come out from either team, and I think that was Rock Bottom 20, or not 20 rounds in, but like very close to being around that 20 round mark last time. And so maybe having this happen earlier on could be a good way to stifle things before the bleeding turns into a gushing wound.
Completely. And I mean, there's so many good benefits that can come from a timeout. I feel like I always do this. And I mean, maybe I just got to make a podcast about it or something. But I mean, there is just so many things that you can take away from it because, I mean, I think it is a bit of a technical issue. But again, this can potentially slow things down from Flick. Oh, I just got a word from production. Thank you. That flickbaiters are having a little bit of a tech issue with their mouse. So this is, this is where maybe, Rock Bottom can really figure things out, be a little bit more critical about their strategies, but it also kind of lets flickbaiters just to kind of, keep the comms up, but maybe it works against them. Maybe it slows down that fire. The flame is just not full burning right now. We'll have to wait and see at this moment.
I mean, if I'm Rock Bottom right now, and I feel like we've seen every round where they aggressively push onto a site or push one way into a site, I just want to see a slower round come out from them. And without the spike coming out, I don't think we're going to see that again. Now with the Odin, though, is able to find the opening pick against Intox. That has to be the reverse Sova trick there. Spike now traveling its way towards A. There are two bodies inside of Garden to work with here. Paranoia could come out. Rajante with the camera as well. It's walking down from Garden entrance, though. Everyone's tucked away.
Lockdown going to be used now. This is from Rock Bottom. It's not going to fully connect into everything of A, but this allows them to get some good possession. These players are going to have to put themselves back. Looks like Nerf's actually going to finally get himself out of that. I was kind of a little bit curious what he was doing, but now Rock Bottom, they secured it. Nerf trying to find it. He just misses that opportunity. The door opens. Nerf able to find it, and he actually does get away with it. And all of a sudden now, flickbaiters a 3-on-4 situation. Spike's still down. Nerf gets taken down by Yif. And all of it's just two players. This is looking like a problem here, but Rajante comes up with two more, Keg. How does this happen?
That is so good from Rajante. Able to catch out the Omen in the teleport right after. So good to see. What's left of flickbaiters, though, entrance of Garden. A little bit of a pinch from Rock Bottom. Isolated. Playing off each other here. Trying to go for the fake plant. Flick not taking the bait just yet. Hunter's Fury, though, coming through. That could be huge to create that space, but Rajante's on the other side. Still goes down because of it. 12 seconds left now. The re-rotate needs to come by. Still inside Garden. It's only one left. It's the Sky. Utility to work with. Guiding Light goes through. Blinds out once. They can't find the shots, but great pinch to come through. Toasty Unicorn saves the day.
Just barely, too. I mean, Ethos, the guiding light almost worked. I mean, you saw that he was able to blind the player behind Generator, but it was just a good peek. That's a good trade that we saw from Rock Bottom, and that's what I was kind of criticizing before, what we didn't see on map number 1. They weren't finding those trade frags, and in that moment they did. And if they wouldn't have, that could have been an opportunity where Ethos could have probably had 2 one-on-one duels that could have gone their way. But Rock Bottom, they respond back to that round very well. And Rajante, like I said, I don't know what's going on. This guy just had some hero food for breakfast because he's just running in, committing, and picking up double frags.
Oh, Nerf, they tried to go for it again. It doesn't work out this time. Matt can't find the Sova trick either. Instead, 2 defenders try to push up through B, and some damage was taken and decided to back off. No real luck this time for Rock Bottom to start things off, except for finding Nerfed.
That's a good pickup. I mean, now they've lost.
That's true.
That's a good amount of utility that's disposed here from flickbaiters. They don't have any smokes. They don't have the paranoia, so now they can push into this site. Rajante is behind the wall, spamming away. He gives his position away. He's not able to even do any damage. He doesn't find anything. He's just shooting blanks. Spike's going to go down now. It's a 4-on-5. Bladestorm's going to be activated from Hope now. This is a good position here for Rock Bottom, Keg.
Oh, look at those nanoswarms going through, denying any access onto the site. It's going to be another one to go down. Redux can't maneuver this way just yet. There's 2 different bodies to worry about. Garden, though, waiting for that more utility. Hope on the other side. Knives are out. Buns are out. Oh, no, not enough to connect. The shotgun misses. The Redux gets the frag instead. Pushing forwards, though. Back and forth yet again. Toasty good for 1. All that's left is Rajante now. Going through from heaven. Very telegraphed play. Spy cam goes down. Tries to find at least 1. Good lineup and gets the trade. The Toasty trades back. Rock Bottom, only 1 point away from tying things up.
And this is what we see now. So, I mean, we saw that timeout, and it's been working in favor here for Rock Bottom. This is 2 rounds in a row, and like you said, they're at a chance where they can bring this thing back to a tie game. It's a light purchase that we're seeing from flickbaiters, just having the 1 Bulldog with a couple Sheriffs. Bit of a scrappy purchase. They're going to see what they can work with. Rajante going to try to be the one player with the biggest weapon on the board on their team. Oh, it looks like Redux finally going to get something to match a little bit. So this is good. But, I mean, this is an opportunity now where Rock Bottom are putting that timeout to their possession, and now it's a full commitment. They're rushing into B. They're not going to let go.
Oh, by no means, Laz. Hope already onto the site. Yif gets the confirm instead. Could be good for another. Not overextending. On site now. Plant going into the ground, it seems. Yep, and even though inside of corner. Nerf looking through on CT side. And heavily damaged Intox already. 1 Speedway. Nerfed it. This is Chico round. Hope is still waiting down below. Could be good to find some more kills. They hear the footsteps to go on by. Yif already spotting them out, but no one's there to really confirm. The alarm bot comes by. Yif good to find 1, but can't find the second. Chico comes in clutch. But look from behind, though. It's going to be a flank on a flank. Intox good for another one. It's going to be in the collapse, though. Hope trying to stall them off. Detox, though, looking for the shots. Good for another one. Double kill comes by. Matt for the trade. One more still on Speedway. Ammo's running out. Hope looking for the isolated fight. Another to fall. And look at that. The sandwich comes by. Meat, tomatoes, lettuce, and all.
Great round, and I like that idea from flickbaiters. They were just kind of waiting things out, trying to pick up some frags. They were I felt like they were kind of baiting the time. I was a little bit curious if they wanted to wait things out and just get everybody, from the spike explosion, which would have been actually kind of an issue for Rock Bottom. But they tried to commit to it. They had a good pickup, but now we have ourselves back to a tie game. One more gun round. No operator in the hand of any team at all yet. So it is just rifles, full armor with just nerfed with the light armor. So I'm curious what we're going to see from flickbaiters. They might want to try something a little bit different. We saw the spam and B trying to go through. Doesn't work. Guiding light going to be used. That's a spammerino. And Ethos able to get that nice little treat and takes down the duelist from Rock Bottom.
Really nice guiding light play off of Rajante there with the Cyber Cage. Completely blind. No tracers to be seen with that Phantom either. Now Rock Bottom, they're forced to slow down here. The turret's going to be going out in case someone pushes through A main. At this point, something we haven't seen in a long time, Laz, is Rock Bottom pushing through mid. Last time we saw that was on the pistol round, but the response from Rajante was the tripwire to go through inside mid. It seems like, though, A might be their only choice.
Yeah, and they've been quite successful getting that A control. And I mean, I do agree, like I felt like in mid they had some good control before, but this is going to be better. Matt's going to have the lockdown, which is going to clear most of the site, which is going to push back the Sova eventually. He's still going to hold it, still got lots of time to go. Lear going to be used now. Recon Bolt does give it away.
Oh, the Hunter's Fury.
This is good. This is really good. Intox is able to pick up frag, and he just escapes it. He doesn't get detained and nerfed. He's in the back lines again. He's just absolutely finding the perfect timings here, Keg.
Oh no, they're sandwiched again. Rock Bottom trying to make it work with the spike to go down. They can't even do that. It's been denied, but May stays alive with a double. And while it seems impossible at first, the double from a 4v1 now to a 2v1 goes well underway. Smoke goes down. There's no time to do everything at once. Nerf gets the final kill. And it was tied up, Laz. It was tied up, and now Flick, they were able to sandwich themselves again around Rock Bottom, constrict them away, and they took the point lead.
Yeah, and again, I talked about Nerf a lot so far in this BO3, but the way that he's playing and the way that he's getting information, just being a bit like a MacGyver, just getting some good information, feeding it to his team. The fact that he can get these flanks, that is such an issue here for Rock Bottom, because as soon as you get a flank, all your attention, everything just gets scrambled. It's just like eggs. So now they kind of have to figure out what to do. They can't allow flickbaiters to kind of just push up and get control like that. So now Hope's going to try to push through one more time. One person army running on through. Look at this. How much control can you have? Already pushed up inside the defender's side, able to take down Intox. That's a bit of a miscommunication from flickbaiters.
Hello? Hope is just completely on site, essentially. They're dissecting through everything. Redux is aware, though. Everyone else has to be, though. Easy trade comes by. Ethos finds Hope. The Op Wielder still inside heaven. It was all bait to go on to A. Luckily, though, that other jet had not moved just yet, but May from behind takes down Nerf. MacGyver in reverse is going to be huge. Nano Swarms are up above, though. Waiting to activate. Redux already hit. It's up to Ethos to push through solo. Going to be taken down as well. One left alive. The Op Wielder may need to save here. 1v3 may not even be given that liberty. Oh, this is not easy. Forced to back off now. A tied 5-5 again. Could look for exits. It's far too little, too late to go for the defuse.
I just feel like for an investment like this, yeah, Redux should not be going for it. I do agree. Save this. Don't try to be the hero. Just preserve it for the next round. It's a big investment. Well, that's what he does. So, I mean, Rock Bottom, they respond very well. They get the spike down as well, obviously, with the detonating. So they get that money bonus, which is going to be good in terms of, the players that fell. So it shouldn't be an issue. The weapon should be purchased. But now, I mean, flickbaiters, they have a decision to make. I mean, do they want to just force up and try to work as much as possible with this operator? Or do you just kind of have the operator in a hot potato situation where, like, if, Redux falls, they can easily retrieve it back for their players and just kind of see what they can find?
I mean, I have no doubt that everyone in this lobby can probably play an op pretty well, right? But you have to make sure it goes into the right hands. Redux has that great escape option, and Nerf sort of does as well. You don't want to necessarily put it on an Omen, though. Everybody else really seems to have their roles, and I feel like it has to belong to Redux, even if they fall.
Absolutely. Redux is pretty much the player in the hot seat. Has to make a good opening. Needs to get all this pressure here.
Oh,
Already
no.
now. Oh, nerfed! No way! Do you get away with that? But Ethos able to get it back. Oh no, Rock Bottom! This is just shambles. They've lost all their players. It's just down to May. On the 1-on-3, actually going to be in this defender side spawn. This is a very interesting position. Doesn't commit to the site, but going to just hang behind the trees. Waiting things out, waiting for the prey. This is a lot of guess here for flickbaiters.
This is a really good time to go for the rotate. Problem is, though, flickbaiters are overextending on the opposite direction of where May will be. They're trying to hunt down May, but little do they know is that the Omen is behind them the whole entire time. Could be B. Spy cam is there, though, up on Speedway. Can't necessarily go there just yet. A's closer to. 30 seconds left. Timer's running out. May have to dedicate themselves to the site.
Left.
Can't teleport again, but there's 2 inside garden. It may is the drop. Audio cue will go through. They may have heard that. Or not. There's no response. The walking goes through. The plant underway. Everyone now knows exactly where May has to go. But good for them. Full utility to work with. A buy to go down. That's the op. We mentioned it. Not going to be picked up at all. Double smokes come by. Playing a game of shrouds. Looking to find maybe another. Double phantoms to work with against,
Oh
though.
my
Tracers go
God.
through. Could be another one.
Oh
It's a
my
triple kill
God.
on 4K for May to save the day.
Oh my God. I hope we get the highlight reel from May. That was just picture perfect clutch play. Just puts full control into that situation. We talked about May being the big heavy hitter on map number 1, and that is a good prime example of that, and just able to get those flick baiters by themselves in those 1v1 situations, just getting away with absolute murder.
Holy moly. Rock Bottom again are good for the half, but not as much as they were last time around on Icebox. No, this could very well be tied 6-6. Early reverse Sova tricks not going to work out. Hope pushes through, finds a little bit of info on Rajante, but they do fall eventually at the cost of all the knives. The push up for Redux, though, probably not going to be the best idea, but they're waiting for the flank. But guess what, lads? They're already all over site for Rock Bottom.
Put a lot of pressure now. Intox taking critical damage, but they're able to respawn back with 2. Nobody gets traded. Rock Bottom now, they're in the disadvantaged situation. 3 players remaining. Toasty Unicorns finally comes alive, takes down Nerfed, able to find another, and they're falling apart like a timber. And all of a sudden now it's 7-5. Rock Bottom has been able to take the second half in their possession.
Switching sides.
Definitely a much more convincing first half for flickbaiters from what we saw in Icebox. The issue was, though, is that this was Rock Bottom on the attack, and they looked a hell of a lot better than what we saw in map number 1.
Yeah, they came alive. I mean, this is a really good showing from Rock Bottom. I was a little bit nervous because flickbaiters made a big climb back. And I mean, that's what can really just damage the mentality of a team. But Rock Bottom really just staying composed, not really showing that they were affected by it. But I am going to be curious now because they are on that defensive side. And like we said on map number 1, that was where both teams were just doing some great work. Obviously, it's a different map than Icebox. But I'm going to be curious now if things are going to be a little bit flip at the script.
I do like the split push coming through from flickbaiters. Early shots come by, forcing Rock Bottom to think it might be a rush onto A. No one on B side, though, is taking the bait just yet. Mid control is trying to be in the favor of Flick, but keep in mind, the alarm bot's there. That's going to be huge, and we're going to see that every round, and it's going to give tell for every single mid push. Redux wants to go through Catwalk instead. Have the Sheriff. It's a huge dedication, no utility to work with. Hope good for the opening pick, and so is Intox with the trade, but look at this now. The body's melting away, but heavily damaged flickbaiters every single member except for one's one hit.
Spike's going to get down, so they could have the regrowth. I believe it is still in the disposal. I'm not going to use it yet, because you got 3 players from flickbaiters that are in the red. So this is actually a pretty good opportunity for Rock Bottom to come up big. They're not going to use it. Now Matt can put the drone down. For the turret, my
3K?
apologies. This could be a possibility.
Oh, nerfed. Nerfed or nothing. There you go. One. Maybe make it 2. No, the response wasn't there, but Toasty's still looking to fall. Great convincing pistol round from flickbaiters again. And I hate to be the one to say it, Laz. No turret 3K.
Nah, it's, that would have been a pretty cool highlight reel. I'm not going to lie.
Right?
But I mean, that round we can see nerfed again. Like, he finds these openings where he's just somehow behind everybody. You see it. You called it perfectly. Like, he's just sitting there. He's like, there's one person, there's another person, and he gets 2 easy frags. And then honestly, nerfed, he's just been doing phenomenal work for this squad. Not to say not everyone else isn't, of course, but nerfed is really just done outshining everybody right now.
A lot of noise being made in Catwalk here. Can't find the shots in mid. And interestingly, no alarm bot has been placed in mid either. No utility has been expelled from the Killjoy, or probably even bot. But Nerf pushing up, can't find the skull of Yip in time. That's going to be huge, but the early trade comes through, and, well, you lost your duelist already for Rock Bottom, and it just keeps on going. That's a 4K now for Intox. He's got the weapon upgrade. He has the Spectre now. And Killjoy having to rotate. Looks like it's going to be a save already. There's really nothing you can do here if you're Matt. Unless they all push in one by one. That's a possibility. But with just a classic, there's not much other than a mini tack timeout.
Yeah, and that's maybe what they're doing right now, because Matt is just going to try to maybe look for an exit, because he knows one of these players, at least one or two of them, might try to hunt. It's not
on my way.
the best decision for them to do that, but I mean, they might. And I mean, Matt's not saving anything special at this moment, right? He doesn't have utility, he doesn't have armor, doesn't even have anything. So really just baiting time as much as possible. Intox trying to look for the ace. Coming in hot and heavy, gets the ace. And that's perfect from Intox. A really good execution on the site. Just again, just with the run and gun, able to put that Spectre to absolute work. And now we get another full gun round commenced here. flickbaiters. They got lots of money here, Keg. And I mean, they still have the Spectres and just the one Vandal for their Cypher player.
I mean, if I'm flickbaiters right now, Intox just got an ace off a Spectre. I think they're really good with the run and gun for what's happening right now. Problem might be, though, is that everyone on Rock Bottom have rifles, though. But look how much economy they have. They have a combined $100. We have the same bank account right now, Laz.
And now it's going to be Intox with that ace, plus the orb going to come up big. Gets it for the Hunter's Fury. That's going to be now activated. Intox going to clear some room for his teammates. Doesn't actually connect any damage. Going to be Yip that's actually able to pick up a 2 now. Rajante finally gets back. Yip with a 3 now. He's going to be able to dismiss, give himself another chance of this. He's been able to get 3 frags alone by himself.
Oh, no. Last 2 alive in A main. Trying to push together here. Good for one. Could be good for another. Could this be a reverse ace? It very well could be. Recon Bolt is out. Intox, though. Last person to get an ace. Only a round to go. Now could be the final victim of one here. And Yif is just waiting. I think Intox wants to deny it. He wants to be the only one with an ace. Oh, but they're pushing up. Jiggle peeking. And there it is! But it's stolen away from Toasty! Oh, no!
Not like that, Toasty. They're going to be having some words for sure.
That's how you get kicked off a team.
Oh, Toasty. You sneaky little unicorn. But a great hold. That's a great hold, though. I mean, Keg, you saw that Yif, again, like, we're kind of noticing some individual performances now from some of the from both these teams, and Yif alone. That was a triple, and then the quad, obviously, but the fact that he could pick up 3 immediately like that, with not, again, a trade, that was kind of what we saw from Rock Bottom, and now flickbaiters, they're slugging a little bit here.
You say that, though, but they're already able to find an opening pick. Hope goes down. And those individual plays, like you mentioned, Laz, I think have been really important so far, right? Because we've been seeing a lot of these, one player on each team been able to just play so stalwart and just hold their ground and mow down anybody that crosses by. And that's how the last 2 almost aces happened. With Toasty Unicorn hiding inside a marketplace, they're going to have to bide their time a little bit. Flick now rotating over to Garden. Killjoy is still hiding on A. Do see one coming around from Garden. It's going to be the Omen. May's going to hide away, but they've been spotted out.
Great
Marketplace
information, too. That's great information from the Trailblazer.
Oh, and this is huge. They don't check Marketplace. Another skull to bash open. Rajante to fall. Now it's a 4v4. Guiding Light comes on by. So is the spike, though. It's all been baited to go towards A. The utility's been set up there. Nerfs is going to fall, but look at the rest. The flickbaiters, they're going to push their way onto B.
30 seconds left.
holding CT side. Not entirely sure from Yip's perspective where they think this guy could be. Still holding on to Marketplace, though. They're actually going to push up, and they might find themselves in a world of pain, but they spot out this guy first and almost missed the shots. It's going to only leave 2 left alive now for the defense. Intox hiding down below by logs. Oh, if they strafe 2 wrong at the same time, they're good for 1. Recon Bolt comes by. It's going to spot out the Omen. That could be another save, but May's able to get it instead. Great spray control.
Oh, and Intox, you could see he actually did hit the shot onto the head. It was through the top corner of the wall, but it doesn't do the full damage. So May gets away with it, down to 54. Great effort from Intox, especially though his teammate fell a little bit quicker than what he wanted, but almost able to pull that 1v3 clutch.
Intox has just been a clutch master. Even if they don't win the rounds, they've came pretty damn close to clutching it up at least twice now. Almost 3 times.
Multiple times, yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, Intox, you know, is really starting to show up. I mean, we, like you said, you saw the ace there before, a couple clutches, some really good work from a Sova, especially on a map like this. I mean, Sova is just so critical in any lineup, but really it's just really starting to show its full purpose here and kind of full form.
Double smokes inside mid. No one on either side can see a thing, though. Early intel against Rajante. Sova can't Sova trick this. Odin's still in hand, though, but they've been spotted up by the spy cam all the same. Redox, I'm not sure from where. Towards Marketplace is able to find one, but May's playing a dangerous game with a dangerous prize, and the doggy's going to get euthanized, but at what cost? Well, May's able to keep their life. But now the Seekers come out. Paranoia in response. Seekers are destroyed, but look at the utility dump inside mid.
Yeah, and they're switching up their game plan. I'm really liking this. They finally put a little bit more foot on the gas to getting a bit more control. Etho's going to have the regrowth. That's going to heal the teammates in that radius. They now getting swarmed by 2 people, and they're just down to 2 players remaining, both Hope and their Killjoy. Hope's going to have to find this player immediately, but no, Etho's going to be one better. Takes down the head of Hope, and now Matt by himself on that 1-on-5. And at this moment, this looks like an opportunity for flickbaiters of picking up their 8th round.
Ooh. Where have we seen this situation before? Matt, the last one alive. Intox this time can't confirm the ace. But another save comes on by, and it seems like the Killjoy just cannot find that luck to find which side Flickbaiters want to push onto. And I think the early info that Flickbaiters are really looking for is to see exactly where Matt's playing and where that utility is. And if it's not going to be on the site that, you know, they're hoping to posture towards, they're just going to rotate around.
And most of the players here from Rock Bottom are actually very close to getting their ultimates. I mean, you got May with 1 away. You got Hope just 1 away for the Blade Storm as well. And only 2 for Toasty Unicorns. So, I mean, there could be ultimate galore here in the disposal for Rock Bottom, where right now Nerf is the only one on their team. But again, you also have it pretty close. Intox 1 away and as well as Redux. So, I mean, it's going to be an even playing field, almost like a 3-3.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so much noise to start things off in Catwalk again. And hello, everybody on Rock Bottom pushes up here. Yif is going to fall. Hope is able to get away with their life. They've still lost 1. Instead, Hope tries to go towards Wine, realizing it might not be the best idea, even if it's on a light by round. Goes for the escape, still gets spotted out.
And they're committed to this too. Like Keg, they're all just hanging out in back of long A. Like they're not having a lurker at all. So there's some really good information from the Omen of Rock Bottom. They have pushed up mid, so they're aware. They are pretty much now going to be able to invest their players to lean on this site, and they don't have to really worry about B. Yes, the Sova is kind of waiting, but it's just waiting to see if they're going to actually push into this. And Hope now holding this by themselves. Gets taken down, Nerf able to find the head of him, so now they've been able to get into this pretty easily, and it's just 2 players remaining.
This is a massacre. Look at where the Sova is right now, trying to gather themselves towards May's side, but they're the last one alive again. Toasty Unicorns cannot possibly, it seems, push this up. They have a Sheriff, could be doable. They have a Recon Bolt to work with here. Ethos pushes up here, that's good for 1. Not so flawless of around anymore, could be almost good for 2. Paranoia comes by, they almost drop on down. The sandwich is going to come by though. Second slice of bread, it's going to be Nerf to come around on Catwalk side. Confirms the kills, 3k for Nerf. And now it's 9-9, it's tied up again.
Back to a tie game, we've seen it once, we'll see it again. And now, full gun round going to be still available here, of course, for Flickbaiters. They got lots that they could even have 1 or 2 gun rounds after this, and Rock Bottom going to be having to kind of scrape the barrel, but Hope does get the operator in hand. And actually, Matt going to be glass canning, so no armor at all available. So very interesting purchase. I'm a little bit surprised he doesn't go for a little bit lighter of a weapon with that armor. That could bite him in the butt, but we will have to see. Pressure is building up for the Rock squad.
Have to see now if the attackers are going to push onto the Killjoy, though. Like you said, no armor, but they have a full Phantom to work with. Could be the perfect opportunity. Instead, early mid comes by. Some info to be gained. Hunter's Fury in reverse, though, and Hope might be in trouble here. I think out of the range now of the Hunter's Fury. If it hasn't been spotted, though. The Redux is still baiting themselves out for those shots. Can't find anything yet. Oh, no. Oh, no. The spike is going away from the Killjoy. Rajante found the info. The Killjoy is not on B. But no. I thought they found that info. Maybe they didn't if they're pushing their way back towards A. They're avoiding the up.
Yeah, they're really just trying to rotate that up as much as possible. But now Hope going to be putting their foot up a little bit on the gas here. They're going to be grouped up. That's 3 players at A now. So it's just 2 in mid, 3 at A. And look at this. Hope almost looks like you can see right through this. Trailblazer going to be used. Dash comes in. Hope takes the head of Redux. A great shot. Flick of the wrist. Now May going to be spotted with the recon bolt, but Hope's able to help him out. And Matt, he's able to find a couple frags. He doesn't even need armor. Who cares? And they put themselves at the 10th round.
I really loved what Hope did with that op at the beginning of the round. They took down Merjante, which in of itself was cool, but it also prevented the rest of flickbaiters from pushing into the site. I was wrong. They didn't have any info about where this Killjoy was playing. And even if they did, they chose not to push into Hope's up, but rather play maybe into Matt's entire utility arsenal. And even without armor, a Phantom in hand, a double kill for Matt goes under, and that's huge strides for Rock Bottom.
I was a little bit surprised to see flickbaiters not try to, dump some utility against Hope. Like, I mean, they kind of just let him have whatever he wanted. Maybe they'll learn from that, but the Hunter Theory actually does make a good connection onto one of the players. Still have 3 ultimates available here for Rock Bottom. Yif going to be actually able to take down Ethos, so now the heal, Guiding Lights, they're gone. There's nothing there at all. Flickbaiters have already lost their big support player and their flashes. They're only going to be relying on Nerfed here with the Paranoia, and that's only 1 flash. That's not even multiple that we had before.
By no means. They still have some initiation capabilities, though. They have the Recon Bolt. They have some Shock Darts to work with, too. But Intox has already taken some damage from the Imposter. Smoke's gone down. Yep, prepared with the Leer. It's going to bring it out. No one to be seen, though, inside of Catwalk. Spike is taking a dangerous route. They haven't contested Toasty just yet. Nerf still inside of Catwalk as well. It looks like the dedication to B has gone underway. But there's still someone on B and someone uncontested in CT side. Toasty's good for 1. Taking out Intox and Matt again, still in the back of Bowhouse. Seems like the info wasn't gathered, but Redux is still able to find it. Back to the Sova, good for a double kill now. It's up to Nerf to shut them down before it becomes a huge issue. But the op is a friendly little bonus. But Toasty's the one they were trying to go after, and they still find a 3rd. It's down to Redux. They made their way onto the site. Spike is only inches away, covered by 3 different angles, though. This Jet needs to push up. They're good for 1. 10 seconds left. They need 4 to plan. They have to find the kills now, but no! Yif is still on the other side. They find the jumping classic instead.
Yeah, great work from Toasty. And the one thing to note, too, is both the players were committed very close in connector, but you could see Toasty, the time was low, so just ran away. So put Yif in that one-on-one situation. So even if Yif doesn't get the frag, it wouldn't matter because the time just wouldn't have been there. He couldn't have been able to get the spike plan at all. So really good coordination from Rock Bottom. But that was where Toasty was able to actually pick up 3 frags. He's been a little bit quiet in terms of, just compared to his teammates, but he was able to pick those players one by one and able to put a lot of good work into that.
It's been the impactful kills that they've gotten.
Completely. Lots of impact, and those were very impactful frags, especially from Toasty Unicorn.
Oh, and Redux again, we've been seeing this Jet push towards mid so many different times on so many different sides as well. Able to find some early info onto Yif, though, but Yif wants to challenge this instead. There is going to be a cloud burst in the way. May still not detected just yet on the other side. Second smoke goes down, though. The call to back off from mid has been played. That's the best choice right now. But we've seen this happen before. They're playing directly into the grasp of Matt, who has a lockdown on all their utility to use. Oh, but now that they know Garden is in play, they could use 1 Nano Swarm. It's a trade, though, to start things off. Smoker first smoker. Both Omens now gone. Having control now in their favorite map backs up. Finds one, maybe make it two. And now with 32 HP, they have to back off. They can still use the lockdown here and be a hero. Spike is in hand of Ethos, though. They have to drop. That's still waiting for anyone to jump down from heaven. Spike goes under. Most of these defenders unchecked. Attempted flank comes by. Rajante by themselves pushing forwards. They hear the drop. The guns have been swapped. A double kill comes by. That's huge. And there's still one more to deal with. But no neural theft. Even the odds. A 1v1 now. Cyber Cage goes down. Recombo in reverse. It's a battle of info. And Toasty gets the impactful kill again.
What on earth is that round? It looks like, you know, rock bottom. They pretty much just solidify the round. Where Rajante just, again, it's these opportunities where he gets at the right moment. He gets a nice two-piece when he comes right down to Toasty, coming absolutely alive. And Toasty Unicorns has been able to now put his team on the match point, potentially pushing ourselves to a map number 3. But wow, Keg, I just cannot believe the turn of events that we've seen so much on this map.
I have loved to see the adaptation come by from Rock Bottom. This was a very close first half, and Rock Bottom have been able to steal it away on the defense again. But it might be a little too early to call it just yet. We saw flickbaiters at a similar spot, and they brought it to overtime and won. But they have to do it again. They've been playing the underdog for the last 2 maps now, and they have to bring it home to map 3. Or end it all here. May, though, is going to be backing off. Redux pushing forwards here. A lot of utility dump to go underway, but Yip on the other side may have their number, but no, instead they choose to back off. Oh, and this is a massacre for Rock Bottom again. It looks like we are going to map number 3. They are in a bind right now, and Rajante needs to save the day, but they're unable to do so. Not all